Happy Friday to you. Today is June 13th, and these are the Friday Funnies. Well, wait a minute. If today's Friday and the 13th, it's Friday the 13th, the legendary day of bad luck. This, above all other days, is not the time to walk under a black cat or break your mirror with a ladder. Take it easy today and don't take any risks. Unless, of course, you work for the federal government, then today's just business as usual. The biggest sporting event in the known world has started this week in Brazil, and Brazil is as prepared for the World Cup as Sochi was for the Winter Olympics. Because of ongoing construction, traffic tie-ups are monumental. They had a traffic jam in Brazil that backed up 241 miles, which shocked me. I didn't even know they had 241 miles of paved roads in Brazil. But the game everybody wants to see throughout the world is known as football, except here in the U.S. where we already have a sport called football, so we named this one soccer. And for some reason, it's incredibly popular around the world, so much so it even has its own hooligans. So I suppose I should break down and watch a few games this weekend, plus it'll give me a good excuse to pull out the old vuvuzela. And if that's not enough to occupy your weekend, remember that Sunday is also Father's Day. So give Dad what every father wants, an hour alone in the bathroom. Or just send him this week's Friday Funnies. In Bradenton, Florida, Lorenzo Ramirez got into a fight with his girlfriend, and soon it got ugly and turned into a food fight. Lorenzo grabbed a bottle of maple syrup and his girlfriend grabbed the ketchup, and they threw it at each other until they were covered with condiments. Police were called and Lorenzo was arrested for starting the fight. However, I have a few questions. First of all, how does one throw maple syrup and ketchup? I mean, did they have squeeze bottles or were they just throwing handsfuls of the stuff at each other? Secondly, will the couple now be ordered to get rid of all of their condiments? How long did it take the police to stop laughing when they first arrived on the scene? And finally, why does stuff like this always happen in Florida? Inquiring minds want to know. H.J. Heinz Company, the makers of Heinz ketchup, is teaming up with Ford Motors to come up with new uses for tomatoes. Heinz claims that tomato parts like skims and stems and seeds can be repurposed and made into car parts. My question is, if Ford starts making tomato cars, what are they going to call them? I've got a few suggestions. Perhaps the Ford Salsa, a hot convertible, Ford 57, a saucy little number, and the limited edition Mustang Marinara with seats made of basil. Mani Manathan is a man from India who is on a mission to achieve world peace. This is a very admirable mission. However, I question his method. For the last 25 years, Mani has been walking backwards to achieve world peace. Needless to say, he hasn't had much of an impact on the Middle East, but at least he's doing something. One of his first acts after beginning his backwards trek was to walk 300 miles backwards and naked. And if that doesn't bring about world peace, my friends, what will? I wish Manny a tol fu kul in his backwards adventures. Hey, that's it for this week, my friends. Have a wonderful weekend. Do not forget Dad on Sunday, and I will see you back here next week.